So before we start this video, we kind of have to get serious for a second. I have this big decision to make in the studio. It's kind of a big deal. It's been looming over me for a while now, actually. And I need some advice, to be honest. And 1000, I look up to 1000. He's a friend. He's kind of like a mentor. He's another professional in this kind of art realm. And I just really actually need some advice from him. So we're going to give him a call. What do you think? Like right here?
Yeah, maybe just a little to the left.
A little to the left? How about that?
Yeah.
Right there.
You got it, bro.
Cool, man. Appreciate the help, man. Thank you. I just thought that was really funny. I'm just kidding. It was just a joke. Shout out to 1000 for helping me out with that bit. I just wanted to do something kind of funny and just a little gaffe with the 100,000 subscriber play button. I'm sure you know 1000. Shout out to him. If you don't, go check him out. He's an epic artist. I do look up to him. I appreciate being funny. And I just thought that would be good to start the video off. We're going to start with some watercolor portraits just to use a pencil, continue the art practice. But then we got random stuff to do in the studio. It's going to be kind of an unplanned video, but I think it's going to be juicy, action-packed. Let's begin. I'm just going to tape the edges real quick before we start sketching or doing anything. I got a mechanical pencil, kneaded eraser. I'm going to tilt this up a little. And then we got the selfie right here just for the reference. And we're just going to start to sketch. Also, real quick, I'm just gonna cut this because I don't need this extra space. It's kind of just dead space, so I'm just gonna cut it like right here. This is just me being a perfectionist and making everything look pretty, even though this is just a quick little study for fun. Might as well make it look pretty. All right, back to the watercolor painting. We're all set up. You know, I don't do watercolor often. I think it's super fun, but I'm really, not very experienced with it, and it's very challenging. Water, limited control, you work light to dark. It's just very different, very new, but I try to do it as much as possible. I don't do it that much, but I love to do it. So we're just gonna get wacky and weird. I'm not gonna spend super long on this, maybe an hour and a half. I always say that, and then it becomes 4 hours, but let's just dive in and get weird. I have gouache here, which I'll probably use towards the end. This is basically just like acrylic and watercolor combined. But we're gonna start with acrylic because we want to start with light passes. So I'm just gonna fill in some random colors. So we got orange, go some red, yellow, green. Let's zoom in here. Okay, I don't really know even where to begin. It's so fun, it's so different. I feel very Zen mode focused. Everything's quiet. It's just a fun time. see how blotchy the watercolor is? If you add more water, it just gets more blotchy, and I've never really actually achieved this beautiful textured skin tone before with watercolor, so I'm pretty hyped. We're gonna keep moving on, and I still got a lot to do. Not too shabby watercolor. I think this is probably the most successful watercolor I've done, but it was still, I mean, everything is just, it's so hard to control, but it's so fun, and I'm glad I did it. That was a couple hours. It was like 3 hours. I always go over the time I give myself because I just have too much fun. Switching gears to more studio maintenance and things I do a lot, kind of that I don't film, is varnishing canvas, and then also prepping canvas and prepping you know, materials to paint on. So we're gonna varnish a few paintings, and right here I have matte and gloss varnish. This is Gamvar, and you know, traditionally you let paintings dry for like 6 months. I have a couple paintings that have been dry for about 3-4 months, and then I'm varnishing a commissioned painting I'm sending out to that's only been dry for a few weeks. And this varnish specifically, I think you could do that. The traditional Damar varnish, you need to let dry for like 6 months. But let me take you to over here because I've done gloss and matte. So this painting and this painting we'll bring back because one's gloss, one's matte, and it'll just be a perfect example. Maybe the camera will pick it up, maybe not. I don't know if you could see that. This is gloss. I think you can see that reflection, and this is matte. And this is way too matte. It looks just way too matte, and this is way too glossy. So I'm gonna combine these two, which people do. I actually learned that from Andrew Tischler. You combine the gloss and the matte to get the kind of mixture and you know, what you want. So I'm gonna go towards the matte side. I want a little gloss, but not super glossy. So we're pretty much gonna do a 50-50, I think. So I'm gonna pour quite a bit out because I want this big canvas and the other big canvas I'm varnishing. Try to make equal layers. The viscosity of these two liquids are different. The gloss is very liquidy, like water. This is a little thicker, but we're gonna try to pour equal amounts. A little goes a long way with this stuff. And I don't really know, we'll see how that goes, but I think that was pretty perfect. Looks pretty clean. Wow, you see that? Like when I go through the hair. Looking good. I think that will do it. I'm excited to see. The dry time is only a few hours, but I mean, I'm not gonna touch it until tomorrow where it will be fully dry. But let's do the next painting. So this is an unstretched canvas. If you haven't seen this video, you could check it out. It's a very painterly style painting, really epic. And so I'm amped. You could see the inconsistencies of gloss and matte oil paint. And so the varnish will make one unified layer of a finish, which is another bonus to the varnish. I'll show you that. I'm super happy with how it looks right now. We'll find out obviously tomorrow. I'll show you it when it's dried tomorrow for sure. But now we're gonna prep some canvases, some different materials, and prep some canvases like I just said. So I got a lot of crap on this table, and pretty much these are panels I just ordered. These are 1/4 or 1/8 inch 11 by 14 canvas panels. They're not super high quality, and I just get them for oil painting practice. This is like my favorite size to paint on. Ooh, some of them are wrapped already. But, you know, I think it's a perfect size to get big enough, but also it's not too big. You're wasting a lot of paint. It's just my preferred size. And these are super cheap. It's like 12 of them for $25 with tax, so it's like less than $2 per panel. So I need to prep them. You know, they're already primed with gesso. Gesso, real quick again, like this is a wood panel, and this comes unprimed a lot of the time. So I put a few layers of gesso, which is this white stuff that's on most canvases. Most canvases are pre-primed. People ask me that all the time. Wood isn't, so I do a couple layers of this, and then I also usually do an oil ground, which is just like a thin layer of oil paint. We don't need this because everything's already pre-primed. And so also this is like my mineral spirit brush cleaner. And after a while, a bunch of the gunk, which is this oil paint, gets collected at the bottom. So I'm gonna pour this all out. It's gonna be wicked nasty. Oh, Lord. And so I'm gonna use that with some white paint just to lighten the value a little, mix it all up. Oh God, that's gonna be crazy. That's why I'm wearing gloves. And then I'm just gonna prime. I'm pretty just gonna rub it into all these canvases. And this is just the mixture I use. There's a bunch of different ways. You don't even need to use this oil prime. You could usually use oil on just gesso canvas. Like I could paint oil right on here, it'll be fine. This is just what I like to do. I'm just gonna dump on like a spoonful. And I don't even need to use a brush, I kind of just rub it in. Because it's already super thin from the turpentine, the leftover turpentine, the odorless mineral spirits. That's one down. I'm sure there's other ways to do this that are more efficient, but this is just what I do, and I do what I do, and I know what I know, you know what I mean? It's pretty fast, pretty easy. It seems to work well with when I paint on top. Last one. Boom. And as gross as this stuff is, you know, we could just put it right back in. So all of these suckers are just gonna dry. It will take like one night because the mineral spirits, it evaporates quickly, maybe 2 days, but we're good. This will be good painting materials for the next few months, hopefully. It's the next morning, and these are all dry. I already kind of touched them. I gotta clean them up, but these two paintings, they look great. Let me see if I get a better angle, but you know, they're just what I wanted with the satin and gloss finish, you know, a medium satin. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's glossy enough, but it's not too glossy, and it's just well protected now. I'm super happy with how that came out. That was the first time I combined the two different finishes for oil painting. So yeah, super happy. I'm gonna ship this one out. I actually got to roll this up. And it's fine. I might let it dry for one more day, but you know, the paint shouldn't crack. This is a high quality piece of linen, so we should be good on that front. That's all I got, you know. Hopefully you maybe enjoyed this kind of more slower behind the scenes video of studio stuff, studio maintenance, just having fun. And that watercolor I was pretty amped with. Probably gonna do more. Let me know what you think. Also, I got merch coming. I got all these designs. I'm gonna start doing these polls of what people want to see on clothing or prints and stuff like that. So if you see the polls, answer it. Might help me out. And yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you in the next video.